After what seemed like a never-ending stretch of hot weather this summer, the script has been flipped with the sudden invasion of below-freezing temperatures. KX Storm Team meteorologist Robert Suhr shows us how the cold weather now has those in the ag industry scrambling.
The corn here in Medina may be nice and green right now, but thanks to some uncharacteristically cold temperatures for this time of the year, farmers across the state may be forced to harvest their corn as well as other crops a lot earlier than they wanted to.
If we could pick what we wanted, we wouldn't want a frost right now.
There's a saying among old-timers that winter never misses North Dakota. Just a few days ago, Bismarck climbed to 93 degrees. But Tuesday morning, temperatures plunged into the upper teens and 20s for many locations, even dipping to 18 in Alamo, which is in Williams County. And that cold effectively ended the growing season early. And for farmers like Richie Heinrich, who got a late start to the season because the ground was too wet, the last thing he needed was an early freeze, which could end his corn growth before it's properly matured.
They're not physiologically mature. It'll definitely hurt the test weight or will reduce yield if we get the freeze too early. Fortunately, if we compare it to last year, we had way more heat units growing degree days than we did last year. So we're actually further ahead in terms of maturity with our crops than what we were a year ago. But with that being said, if we could hold off another 10 days to 2 weeks for a frost, that would be beneficial for us.
On average, the first freeze occurs for most of the state in the third or fourth week of September, with a few locations out west seeing it slightly earlier. And this time of the year, every growing day is critical. There is some good news. Even though the cold is bad for corn crops, the North Dakota Wheat Commission tells me wheat production should, for the most part, be okay. And while your mind may be on row crops, the early cold could also have a big impact on apples, North Dakota's #1 fruit crop. I chatted with state horticulturist Tom Kolb, who tells me apples can take a light frost, but really nothing under 28 degrees.
They think that frost will make their apples sweeter, but that's not really true. What makes an apple sweet is the warm, sunny days and the cool nights of fall. And that will build up the sugars in the apple. And so we would recommend, if your apples are ripe, to go ahead and pick them. Do not wait for a frost. A frost is not going to make a difference for you.
And for farmers with row crops, less time to grow means less money in their pockets.
There'll be lower test weight, which will give us lower bushels, probably increased drying costs. So that's the downfall to getting a frost too early.
And while fall may not be for another 2 weeks, it's already shaping up to be a challenging one. Reporting for KX News in Medina, I'm Robert Suhr.
And if you're a backyard gardener, you're advised to cover up any sensitive vegetation. Yet again tonight, we'll have the latest data on how low temperatures will plunge coming up in our full forecast. While corn and other crops